section 2.
Drafting state constitutions. Through 1776 and 1777, most states adopted written constitutions providing fundamental laws setting principles, structures, and processes of government, and assemblies were commonly used to adopt and draft documents. The Massachusetts Constitution of 1780 is the oldest of the present-day constitutions that is still in force.
So that actually predates the federal Constitution, right? Kind of cool.
And this is a picture of the chart from the book. It outlines the common features of the state constitutions, which within the state constitutions they have popular sovereignty, which is the fact that the government can exist only with the consent of the governed, of the people. A lot of new state constitutions were mainly like declarations of like principal statements of limitations on government power. New state governors were given little, they were given like little actual power within the state that they were governing. So that has to go back with limited government, because the people still wanted the authority to have a say-so.
And again, may I point your attention up to the posters up here just to the right, because as you guys will know, as we harken back to the Enlightenment thinkers as well as English jurisprudence and precedent, these are some of the principles that we have really embraced at both the state level and the national level, these basic constitutional principles, which was a radical experiment, a departure from the norm government of the time, which is a monarchy, dictatorships. You know, we really blazed the trail as far as these principles are concerned.
And then for civil rights and liberties, in every state it was made clear that the sovereign people held certain rights and that the government must respect at all times. 7 of the new constitutions contained a Bill of Rights, setting out the unalienable rights held by the people.
And also with this, like within certain state constitutions, the right to vote was limited to like the adult white males who met like rigid qualifications, including property ownership.
Why is that, Sarah? Why, when building this Constitution, constructing it, did they want to limit the ability of people who could vote and make policy and law to people who owned land? What was the rationale? How did they justify that?
Was it 3-1? Oh wait, no, I'm talking about the snakes. Yeah, never mind.
I think it's the fact that they figured people who own land had more of a sense of, I don't want to say that they were like of higher intelligence, but they felt that since they owned something, they had more part of within the state of ownership of that, and they felt that, I guess they were more qualified to be the ones to make those decisions.
Any other reasons why those who own property would want to restrict the voting power to those who own property?
Well, you mean to those who don't own property?
Yeah, if you're a property owner, why would you want to
only allow those that own property to vote as opposed to those that don't own property?
Because they're giving them money?
Because they have money to back them up, or if they have
No, it's the other
crossover
way
into their
around.
land.
Because they're more likely to
Let
make
Joey
decisions
finish.
that'll
Go-
benefit
what were you saying?
them.
No, wait,
Crystal?
I didn't hear what you said. What?
Because they're like other people vote or whatever, and like they have nothing to lose pretty much because they don't own land. And the people that do own land, they're like, they will lose like their land.
How would they lose their land?
Well, maybe
Laws.
Maybe because they're giving them.
They wanted the government to be like in their favor. I think that's wrong.
Yeah, but that doesn't answer the question.
Maybe
The question is why would land owning people want to exclude people who don't own land or property from voting?
Well, maybe because back then farming was like the best industry. It was like a good thing to invest in.
Okay, you're not answering the question. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Bianca?
Like maybe the people that own land don't think like the people who don't, wait, the people who do own it don't think the people who don't like are like kind of not like worthy.
Okay, well that kind of echoes what Sarah said. Any other reasons?
And maybe because they want a certain person to win, or like they're all like with
Like the people who have more
They
money
all
have more
believe
vote
in-
of the majority.
and one. I don't know. Like I have my thoughts. I don't know how to say it. Like all those people that own land want a certain thing. Like they want to be like.
So why would they want to exclude people who don't own property or don't own land from voting?
Maybe it has to
Could
do
be
with
based on the
property rate.
demographic they're trying to reach, because if you're a white male, you can own land, and that basically excludes all other races and women.
Okay, I'm not, possibly, I think Serge has been the closest so far to hitting the nail on the head. You want to pick up where you left off?
You mean like
Wait, what did you say?
No man life.
Or like the other people won't have like the land to lose if there were laws that made it so that the people that own the law had to like give it up to like the government or the federal. Yeah.
That's exact. Sergio hit the nail on the head. People who own property and land were afraid that people who didn't own land and property would use the power of the vote to pass legislation or elect people who could, through the power of government and taxation, take their property and their land away from them and redistribute it to others. That's what their great fear was.
Because there was only a few people that had it.
Well, there's a percentage. I mean, it certainly wasn't a majority, but it wasn't just an elite few. Yeah.
Separation of powers and checks and balances. The powers granted to new state governments were purposely divided among three branches: executive, legislative, and judicial. Each branch was given powers to check and restrain the actions of the other branches of government.
And all these common features within the state constitutions were to later come into play when they decided, like with the Virginia plan and the New Jersey plan, which we'll be talking about in section 4, of how each state is represented.
Press the red button to stop recording. Stop recording.
Wait.
Yeah, he says.